Alright guys, I am going to show you how I pluck my own sponges. These are the colors that I traditionally use like on every single baby. Well, not all of them. So the blues and the greens are different depending upon which kit I use. This one right here was plucked specifically for a preemie sized baby or like miniature sized babies because the mottling on them needs to be smaller. This one was plucked with a fantasy kit in mind because I didn't want it to have the normal mottling skin tones on it. So that is kind of a fun little pattern. You can do any texture you want. We have two different kinds of sponges we work with, and you have to know the difference between them before you can use the right ones for mottling. This is not the right kind. This is the kind I use for washes, and I use it for blending. Do not pluck this kind of sponge. They swell up. This is what they do. They swell up to be like this and they just kind of fall apart. They're limited use sponges. You could throw them away after a little bit. This is the kind of sponge. Both of these are purchased from Bountiful Baby. And these are the kind of sponges that I use for this. They're a lot more dense, not quite so squishy. And then I use a pair of cuticle clippers and I gently pluck little holes in the sponge. And if you're not using the right kind of tweezers for this, it will take humongous chunks out. That's why I use these cuticle cutters that gets you in there in kind of a precision fashion. Once you've got a sponge that you like to use, you won't have to replace it for a long time unless your cat eats it, because that's what happened to ours. The cats seem to think they're fun toys. I like to try to pluck the corners off because that removes the square feature when it goes on the baby. You don't want to have those square edges visible on the pounce marks. So that's how I do sponges. I'll do another one just to show you a difference between the smaller holes and then the bigger holes. I would not use this one on anything but a toddler. And if you have a hole that's not regular, you can just smooth it out and make it more round. If you're into fantasy, you can do all kinds of patterns on these. And you can create unlimited skin tone textures. What you want is not uniformity. You don't want lines and rows. You want random splotches. All right. Good to go.